Hello and welcome to ChinnyVision. This time, some association football on your Amstrad Spectrum and Commodore 64. I guess Match Day was one of the first football games that many of you will play, me included. Loading this up on the Amstrad CPC because this is the first version I played via my friend's copy of They Sold 1,000,000 2. Nice detailed loading screen, lots of colour and a shiny logo, and of course the game title is a play on the name of the BBC TV show Match of the Day, hence Match Day, and this is quite unofficial. The game's by John RItman and Clarke, and the CPC version appears to be written by someone called Sentient Software Limited. Lots of options to set up the game. You can either play 5, 15 or 45-minute match. I think that's actually 5 minutes per half because I've timed the games on the various versions and it does seem to be longer than it suggests. You can change the team names. You can play one-player or two-player game, so you can play against each other in various cup competitions. So I'm just going to put my team name in here. And you can also change the colour of your strips, which is a nice touch. I'm going to go for the default red and blue. So start the first half. And if you weren't in any doubt that this is a rip-off of Match of the Day, yep, it plays the Match of the Day theme tune when your players come out onto the screen. Certainly something you wouldn't get away with today. But back in 1984, well, no one really cared, did they? Unfortunately, although I've put my team name in, you are just Team 1 and Team 2 on the screen there. And yet you do get this tune go on for ages every time you start the game. And the ball looks like a rugby ball. If you've noticed, it's not circular, it appears to be an ovoid. And all the players have got blonde hair. Right, so I'm Team 1, the computer is Team 2. So kick the ball. Off we go. And yes, it is quite slow. And your boots will change colour depending on which players are in control. So I'm red. When the spikes overlap, you get this horrible. It isn't colour clash, but it's certainly similar. CPC doesn't have any sprite attribute problems or graphic attribute problems, so this is purely a coding thing, and it does get very messy. There you go. That's just a horrible mess of yellow and pixels, and you just can't see what's going on. And then you end up standing against the opposite player, opposite team, just kicking the ball back and forth, trying to get past them. So it's a little bit frustrating. Forward to the game on, it's still 0-0, but the computer is pressing my goal. He's through on goal. Is he going to score? He's walking in. Goalkeeper, could you do something? Yeah, I'm 1-0 down. The AI in this game is very, very basic, and the goalkeepers, which you don't seem to be able to control. Well, nice cheering sound effects as you go when they score. So I'm 1-0 down. And coming back to this game, it seems so slow. I can't say, back in the mid-80s when I played this against my friend, I noticed this as a problem. Well, perhaps I did, but we seem to play this game a lot. But then again, we didn't at that time have any other football games. Match Day wasn't the first football game. Sometimes people suggest it is. International Soccer came out before this, and there were various other football games, I think. I think there was a kind of an attempt at football on the Atari 2600. But, my goalkeeper's just... What's he doing? Oh, I had brief control then, because his boots turned to white, but useless. I'm 2-0 down. 2-0 down, 38 minutes in. This isn't going well. The graphics are colourful enough. It's just this speed issue, really. Getting forwarded the game on. 71 minutes now. Still 2-0 down. Come on, let me pass. Right, running up towards his goal. Oh, good. His goalkeeper's as stupid as my one. Yeah, I've scored. I've scored. At least that counts in its advantage then, because at least the opposition's goalkeeper has as bad AI as my goalkeeper does. So 73 minutes, and it's all big and colourful. We're getting towards the end of the game now. On goal, and I've scored. That's 2-2. So hopefully the game's going to end in a draw. Yes, on the Amstrad here, it's not the worst football game in the world. Someone said to me this is one of the worst games on the Amstrad. It really isn't. And there we go. Nice tune at the end. It really isn't one of the worst games on the Amstrad at all. It's just terribly, terribly dated. Back in 85, 86, yeah, you had nothing better to play, so you played it. Onto the Spectrum, and just one thing on the Spectrum here again, you can change the colour of the players and the pitch and the sky. I'm going to go for the default green with white and yellow colour scheme, I think, once I get around to it again. Oh, and here goes the match day theme tune. This version definitely is by John RItman and Chris Clarke. It says on the loading screen. Right, so it's Chinny United versus Rob's Retro Ramblers. But I had to shorten that to Rob's Ramblers. So I'm going to be on white, and Rob's Ramblers are going to be in yellow. Let's see if this, because this is the original version. So let's see if this is any better here on the Spectrum. Tune shorter here on the Spectrum as well, which is an enormous benefit. And it was nice to have a little bit more speed, although not much. Yes, if the crossing over sprite problem was a difficulty on the Amstrad, here on the Spectrum, because of colour clash with the white and the yellow, oh, it's quite annoying. And you still do that. The AI seems to be the same code as from the Amstrad, because you end up standing against the opposition players, and eventually the ball goes pinging off somewhere. There's no kind of deflection system in this version of the game either, or this Matchday one. That comes in Matchday 2, where you can hit the post and hit other players, and the ball bounces around more. Yeah, the AI code just appears to be just as bad because the goalkeeper was diving around there. It's 0-0. I'm on the ball. It's difficult to see sometimes when you've got this overlap who's in control, and it's just a little bit difficult. And if you think the sprites look a little bit odd, that's because they were ported over from an earlier John RItman game called Bear Bother, and just adapted slightly. So you've basically got a load of bears running around that have been slightly adapted to look like human beings. Oh, it's just a little bit fiddly, has to be said. And oh no, yeah, it's just difficult to defend. I do like how the players run around with their arms in the air, though, when they've scored. That's a nice touch. So it's Chinny United 0, Rob's Retro Ramblers 1. Yeah, on the specky here, it's just a little bit messy. And again, it applies to what I said about the Amstrad version, that you kind of put up with this at the time because there was nothing better. But in hindsight, there's very little reason to play this other than curiosity. Forward it on towards the end of the game, and Rob's Retro Ramblers have 5 goals and I have none. It's a total thrashing. I haven't found it very enjoyable. It's just been a little bit frustrating. Back in the mid-80s, you put up with this, but there seems to be little reason to revisit this today. Over to the Commodore 64, a version I've never played before today. So it's going to be very interesting to see what this looks like. Incidentally, there is a BBC Micro version, which unfortunately I can't get to run. And so here we are on the C64. Same match of the day theme tune again. More zoomed in view. It's Luton Town versus Chinny United this time. Right, so... Oh, throw-in, right, okay. And the game does have throw-ins and corners, so it's not that basic. It's... Oh, something's happened with the sound. There is a constant beeping going on. I don't know why, but sprites are very flickering like crazy here. Right, so here I go. Got to say, I'm in the white and the computer team is in the red. So I'm able to evade like many of these other football games, the computer, but by zigzagging, which seems to confuse the AI. I can run the entire length of the pitch, and that beeping is still... Stop, please stop beeping, please. I can't reach over and turn this down, right, and despite hitting the ball over the goal, I scored. That wasn't in. That ball was over the crossbar, and it went down and went in. Oh. And I'm going to go for my third goal. That's pretty much the same way I've scored 2 previous times. So it's 3-0, we're 25 minutes in. And zigzagging in this version just seems to let you completely evade the computer. Because he runs along, he stops almost when you is he going to do it this time? No, he stop there, and we're in for a fourth. This is ludicrously easy. He just kicks the ball to me. I can zigzag out the way and completely defeat the AI. This game is no kind of challenge to international soccer. It has to be said, which of course came out the year before on the C64. And yeah, that's a game with faults, but I'm 8-0 up now, and that's 9. And this is ludicrously easy. The sprites on this version flicker like crazy. The AI is rubbish. The sound effects are basic and bugged. And it's, there's no reason for this version to exist on the C64 when you've got international soccer. It's just... And also, you see here, you can run along at the edge of the screen because the scrolling doesn't catch up. So sometimes on the C64 version, you end up with no visibility of what's ahead of you due to this weird scrolling setup. They're in the centre now, but sometimes you end up on the edge and it just glitches all over the place. Especially when there's a lot of sprites on the screen. Oh, no, I want to go for 10. I want my 10th. Come on, I'm going for 10. Oh, now the goalkeeper can save. Oh. I think it's fair to say this isn't very good. 86 minutes. No, he saved again. Come on, we're going for 10. For the previous 9 goals, it's been ludicrously easy to score. And now I can't score. The only thing that keeps me playing this dreadful game is I want to score 10. I've kicked it out now, and there's no way. 89th minute. Come on, right. Get the ball. I'm going to score this 10th goal. No! That's horrible. Border effect. And the game just ends, and you've got a Luton Town 0, Chinny United 9. So, match day on the Amstrad CPC, the Sinclair Spectrum and the Commodore 64. Well, on the Speccy and CPC, it was, of its time, probably the best football game there was, but it's horrifically limited by modern standards. You would have put up with this stuff because there was nothing else to play. And, well, even when there were other games to play, like Glenn Hoddle's Soccer by Amsoft, it was so dreadful that Matchday was better, even though on the Amstrad it's a bit of a slow game. But, on the Speccy and Amstrad, at the time, yeah, you would have enjoyed it, but now it's completely pointless. There's no, other than historical interest, there's no reason to play the game. On the C64, it's absolutely abysmal. It's terrible, glitchy, horrible to play, easy to play, and just no fun at all. Overall, Matchday is a historical curiosity because it was one of the first football games available for the 8-bit systems, but today there really is no reason at all to play it.